All of the answer choices here are pronouns. So that's basically what this is testing. Now, we should start by thinking just in terms of singulars and plurals. So the word that comes up most in these pronoun questions is the word it. That is singular. But these other words are also pronouns. They're slightly different because they involve almost like pointing, right? So I could say like, that bookshelf or these papers, right? So I can have multiple things and I'm clearly referring to something that's nearby, basically. In this case, then, this is singular, that is singular, and these is plural. So our instinct might be, okay, C is the odd one out. Maybe that's the answer. But let's take a look at the sentence here. They're doing something a little sneaky here. If you try on one of artist Nick Cave's signature sound suits, you can expect to swish, rustle, or clang every time you move. Cave makes his suits out of found objects, everything from ceramic birds to broken record players. He carefully considers the sound an object makes before using it in a suit. And it's because it's not a specific object, right? So like I said, this bookcase behind me, I'm referring to a very specific thing because I can point to it, right? So these three words are pointing words, and they might point to multiple things like the papers. They might point to one thing like the bookcase, but it's still the idea that there is a specific thing that I am referring to. In this case, it is as a pronoun, it's referring back to the object, but notice it's not a specific object. It is just the general concept of an object that this guy is going to use in his suits. So we can't use this. There is no thing to point to. It's just a vague kind of noun in a sentence. You might have just kind of naturally come to that, but this is a little bit weirder version of a pronoun question. We normally do not see these other words in there. It's usually the decision between it and something like they or their, and so that's more typical. That's a plural pronoun, but yeah, sometimes the SAT throws us some curveballs, but if we know the more basic versions of the rules, then when things get a little weird, we should be okay to adapt and get the question right anyway.